Today we begin to rebuild a club that was reformed in 2020, Estrela de Amadora. A club that folded in 2011 due to bankruptcy and was merged with Club Sintra Football. They now play in the second division of Portugal, because these geezers already have one promotion since being reformed.
I like it.
And our task is to topple the big three in Portugal, to become only the 6th team ever to be crowned champions of Portugal. With a slight twist, which we'll get to in a bit. I also want to mention that I won't be signing anybody first season because they already brought in just short of 50 new players this season.
Sorry, what?
Anyway, our best player out of the 100 registered that we have is probably Paulinho, a Portuguese striker just aged 22, which is kind of ironic. Because the twist is that I'm going to attempt to do this challenge without any strikers. I don't mean I can't play Paulinho, I mean no strikers in my tactics. After playing FM for non-stop since it's been released, I want to see new animations, I want to see different goals, and I kind of like the challenge. I may even try and bang out the attackers too, who knows? Our club vision kind of matches my own. Sign young players, which I always love to do, and end of the current season, finish in the top half. And with the season preview putting us in 3rd place, that should really be achievable. I've set my 3 only scouts out to find first team players, youngsters, and kind of young players for next season. And I went in and I began training Paulinho to play in the number 10 role as an attacking midfielder on attack duty. I am, however, worried that he might leave at the end of the season because he doesn't want to negotiate a new contract. In fact, 8 of my first team players also didn't want to negotiate a new deal, and all of them have 1 year left. Just before the season starts, our owner injected £14 million into the club. Oh yeah, did I mention we've got a sugar daddy? First game of the season against Benfica B team, and we're looking at rocking the 4-3-3 strikerless, which we can adapt as the season goes on. And things started great when we scored the first goal of the match when Ronald picked up the ball and charged towards goal, smashing it in the opener. But Benfica B equalised in the second half through a direct free kick, ending the game 1-1. But from Benfica B to Porto B, we did not perform our best here despite having a good amount of shots and possession. So I thought the next match we would try the attackerless style. Alright, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe this is the tactic we move forward with for now, because the result against a good team in this league was pretty promising. As you've seen, Paulinho, our striker, who is currently playing centre midfield, scored the first 2 goals of the game, and not from set pieces, with all the players getting involved. But the last goal I want to highlight the most, because the ball into the space for the winger on the counter-attack and the cutback, we have so many options despite us not having anybody further than centre mid. A draw in the next game showed me it still does need some work, but we had 20 shots and 59% possession, so it's probably that our players suck at shooting. So I put some offers in and got 2 accepted. First alone for Rodrigo Gomez, a former FM favourite who could be great in the 2nd division for pretty much peanuts. And then Vito, we had a bid accepted for this Casapia attacking midfielder, who I think will help create a lot of chances from deep, which is what the tactic really needs. And both players signed, meaning I took the tally to 50 transfers. Neither player scored in the next game despite both playing, but Paulinho did, and we won 1-0. And our fantastic run continued in an away match, next up winning the game 4-0 with 4 different goal scorers, and once again showing that just because you don't have an attacking midfielder or a striker doesn't mean you won't create chances or be in a park the bus tactic. Not to mention, it's so much fun watching your team play through your opponents in attacks. After a dull 0-0 draw with Tondela, we currently sit in 5th place in the league at this very early stage. It's also a perfect time, if you haven't done so already, to make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the following episodes when they come out a couple of times each week. During October, we won in 2 rounds of the Taca de Portugal, with new signing Vito scoring an absolute perler with his left foot to grab the winner in the 3rd round. And Paulinho continues to learn his new role as an essential midfielder, whilst also continue to do what he does best and find the back of the net. We did, however, go 2 wins and 2 losses in the league during October. And the next round of the cup was drawn, and we got the unlucky tie of Benfica, who broke the deadlock from an outrageous free kick. They couldn't break us down though from open play and scored again from the penalty spot. We ended up scoring a lovely goal down the left from Vito, who found Paulinho, but at 2-1 we gave away another penalty and lost 3-1. And we only had 9 men for the last 10 minutes. We also played Braga in the Allianz Cup and lost 4-2 to them, but we still knocked them out and qualified top of the group. The quarterfinals was as far as we got though, as Portimonense ended our cup dreams, beating us 4-2, which also seemed to have an effect on our league form as well as we enter the new year. Some great news though as we go into January, as Paulinho signs a new contract.
That's my guy! That's my guy!
The board have also given us a lot of money, so I went spending. And yes, I brought another striker in for my strikerless formation. Theo Fonseca is going to be great from either wing or that centre midfield spot next to Paulinho. The positivity transcended on the pitch too as we came back with a 7-0 win. In fact, January included 4 wins from 4, including a fantastic 2-0 away victory against Benfica B team, with that man Paulinho scoring 2 goals in the second half. And that helped us climb into the highest position so far of 3rd place. Paulinho with 10 goals so far this season and Vito with the most assists. But we do have top of the league Porto B-side up next. In what was a fantastic battle where we had over double the amount of shots to Porto, they took the lead with an over-the-top ball. We came back and equalised from a corner just 3 minutes later, but our heads dropped in the same situation, defending a corner in the second half, and we were punished. No excuses for the terrible performance in the following fixture though, just awful. We ended the month with our only win from 4 matches against Trafence. However, the result was a 2-0, but it was the lowest possession I've seen us win with at just 24%, proving that possession does not equal points. But if you've got this far into the video, you clearly believe in this style of tactics, so show me your support by leaving me a comment in Attackless We Trust. Let's band together for the cause. We only played 2 matches in March and they were both very different, with the first being a simple 2-0 win with 2 good goals that you would typically see in an attackerless tactic. And straight into a game where we received what I'd say is probably a very much deserved red card when Everton went a little overboard. And then we received a second red card, from which I'd say is a lot less deserved. A very weak second yellow while attacking corners from our centre back. And as you can see, that left gaps in our defence and we were torn apart pretty easily to concede the first. And then we were overrun at a set piece to concede the second in this 2-0 loss to Tandela. Corners are clearly a weakness for us, as that's exactly how we concede right away in the next game too. Thankfully though, in this match we played a lot better and kept 11 men on the pitch, which allowed us to pull ourselves back into the game through 2 fantastic goals by January signing Fonseca. It was then Paulinho's time to get involved, scoring our 3rd, and to top off this performance, the goalkeeper, who clearly fancies Paulinho, just passed him the ball to score a very easy 4th in a horrendous mistake.
He is atrocious, isn't he?
Now we were back on track with the wins. We need to recover our position in the league with just a handful of games left this season. Nope, we lose 1-0 to Mafra. I think the following match was a perfect example of how it takes time for your players to understand this tactic and their new roles in which you're asking them to play. You need to have that aggressiveness for the mid-block to work, and then that burst of energy to make the counter-attacks of winning the ball in that area of the field to feel worth it. And that's exactly what we did in this match. We still conceded 3, and it might be something that we have to take a look at, but we did score 5 goals in total and created so many chances it could have been double figures. That had nothing on our next match either, as we put 8 goals past our opponents and dominated the game, holding 56% possession also. And although the goalkeeper was absolutely stinking in this match, like honestly he played like he didn't have any fingers, we created chances from crazy periods of possession where we turned up the tempo from very slow and progressive passing to lightning quick attacks that the opponents simply couldn't handle. Majority of games I play these 4 players in these positions and fit around who is best suited or fit in other roles, and depending on the opponent I switch from very attacking or just attacking, which I think's been playing off rather well. Occasionally we will rely on a set piece or 2 though. April ended with a frustrating game for us, which ended up feeling like a victory when Foul equalised in the 92nd minute. And we go into the last 4 matches in 4th place. I don't really know however what happens when Porto B wins the league, of course, as they cannot get themselves promoted, so I guess we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. But of course, after I praise how good we are at creating chances, we go and do the opposite and not put a shot on target. We then went and scored an outrageous goal when the ball was played down the left and an early cross was met by Fonseca at the back post. Beautiful. Still lost 3-1 though.
Damn it, Carl!
With our promotion hopes disappearing in front of our eyes, we required a bit of luck, and an early own goal was just what we needed. And from that, we remembered that we were good again and turned it back on, scoring easily. Our 3rd even came from the kickoff after we scored our 2nd. They simply couldn't handle our press, and Vito made it 3. Before half-time, again hounding their defence, we stole the ball back and made it 4-0 with just 1 game left that we needed to win. And on that final day of the season, we cut our opponents open within 5 minutes, and Gustavo Henrique scored an outrageous curler to put us 1-0 up. But defensively, we were a nightmare and gifted them an equaliser when we were comfortably in control of the ball. Thankfully, a penalty allowed us to regain the lead. And finally, it was of course Paulinho who confirmed the vital 3 points, which puts us, as it stands, in the promotion playoff, where we will have to play Portimonense from the division above across 2 legs to gain promotion and ultimately relegating them. Yes, that's the saying Portimonense, who knocked us out of the Allianz Cup quarter-finals. And things couldn't have started better because we won ourselves a penalty in the first half in the away leg.
He's bloody missed it!
Some things are just typical in life, aren't they? As after we missed a penalty, a player with the same name as our team name then scored in the 54th minute. Thankfully though, to give us a great deal of optimism in the second leg, we scored a deflected equaliser in the 89th minute. But the second leg was another game we decided not to show up, and after our keeper had already made 7 saves, he couldn't quite keep out Cariello's shot on the hour mark. However, yet again, a hero emerged and substitute Guzman finally hit the net for us, and the tie went to extra time and penalties. But this time it was a Portimonense player who missed a crucial penalty when Brigido made the save. And following that, it was in our hands and our players showed fantastic composure, and somehow we won the penalty shootout, sending this newly formed Estrela Amadora side into the top division of Portugal, in what the media is already calling an unexpected promotion. And the board have decided to reward us with a very healthy transfer kitty to take into next season, which is a good job really, because so many of these players are not going to be good enough in the next step up in quality. And I'm probably going to have to tweak this tactic a lot for it to function correctly against the big boys of Portuguese football. So again, make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next episode. If it is out, I'll pop it up on the screen right now. Thank you very much.